All right, y'all, welcome back. This is Trip Nasty Cooks, and today what I'm going to be mixing up is Nashville hot chicken sandwiches. Watched a show the other day that had some on there where they toured Nashville and tried out different popular spots. So kind of wanting to do my take on Nashville hot chicken sandwich. I got some chicken thighs that I'm going to be breading up, but first off, we're going to start with a marinade. So basically all you need is some good old buttermilk and your favorite hot sauce. I kind of like Frank's over Louisiana. So all we got to do, we're just going to pour up probably about half of this buttermilk. We're going to stir this up, don't you worry about it. Put some Frank's in there. And actually what I'm going to do, take the cap off so we can actually pour this in there because we want a good bit. We're going to start building flavor for this right off the marinade. I'm also going to add just a little bit of salt to this. Just because, like I said, we want to start building flavor right away. And now that you have some salt and some hot sauce in there, we're going to go ahead and mix this up. You're going to see that color change. I might need to add a little more buttermilk because we're going to want to coat these chicken thighs, and they're going to sit in the refrigerator for up to 4 hours. If you can go overnight, that's a little more ideal, but I want to eat this tonight, so I'm going to be throwing these in, getting them all nice and covered up in this good little buttermilk mixture. And now that they're covered up, they go into the fridge, like I said, for about 4 hours. Okay, so now that you've got the chicken in the marinade and in the refrigerator resting, next step you want to do is get your breading ready. And I go pretty heavy on my breading with seasoning because I believe that you should have some seasoning in the breading. A lot of this for the Nashville hot chicken is going to come with the oil that you're going to put on top of the chicken at the end. But I don't know where the stereotype white people not seasoning chicken comes from, because I go big when I do my chicken. If you've ever had my chicken, you know that it's got flavor. And as you can see here, we're going to start off with some flour. We got a little bit of salt. Might not be able to see the salt there. We've got smoked paprika because I like a little smokiness in there. I generally smoke my chicken, but for a fried chicken, I haven't really tried that yet. I plan on doing it sometime soon. We'll get around to that, in the future. A little bit of garlic powder. I've got cayenne, lots of cayenne, some crushed red pepper, regular paprika, and black pepper. And now we're just going to mix this all up. You're going to see that this breading is going to have a nice little bit of color to it. And you'll have some of those red pepper flakes mixed in. Okay, for my Nashville hot chicken sandwich, I'm going to make a little bit of a coleslaw that's going to be on the sandwich as well. I know this chicken's going to be stupid spicy, so I want something that's going to be a little bit cool to kind of help out. I did buy some prepackaged coleslaw mix. Don't hate, but I didn't feel like chopping up all the cabbage, carrots, and whatnot. But this will kind of show you how to make a quick, simple little slaw. Gonna take about 2 tablespoons of mayo, add it to that mixture, a little bit of apple cider vinegar, about half a capful. Y'all know that's how I measure my apple cider vinegar. We want a little bit of sweetness. Like I said, it's gonna be pretty hot. So I add a little bit of sugar to this. Don't forget a little bit of salt to taste. And then we're just going to blend this up. Add mayo as needed. I might need to add a little more. I can already tell this looks a little dry. But add what you need. And then throw this in the refrigerator. Let it set up. And then it'll go on to your bread when you're ready to make your sandwiches. Now that your chicken has rested for about 4 hours or overnight, depending on how you wanted to do your marinade, take it out of the refrigerator, get your flour mix, and this is where you're going to start breading the chicken. You want to take the chicken out of the marinade and shake off some of the excess liquid, as you see that I'm doing here, and then we'll drop it right into the flour. You don't want it to be too wet, or the flour's not going to stick onto your chicken as well as you'd like to. On this, I like to use everybody says to use a one wet hand, one dry hand. So as you'll see, I'll use my one hand just in the dry mixture and the other one to pull the chicken out of the marinade. This will keep your hand clean and make the process a lot easier. I did a double dip after I set these on the cooling rack. I went back and dipped them again. I did not record that entire process, but it was just to add a little extra batter. I think I could have kept it at one coat and it would have been fine, but I still got a good result, as you'll see. After you bread these, you want to set them on this cooling rack and set them on there for about 10 to 15 minutes. Make sure that the breading actually sets up onto the chicken. Go ahead and continue through all your pieces. Once all your chicken has been breaded and you've heated up a pot of oil, I heated mine up to about 325. These are smaller pieces of chicken, not too thick. I lay them into the oil. Make sure you kind of lay it away from you. Don't want to splash hot oil on yourself. And also don't overcrowd your pot. For the size of these chicken thighs, I could do about 2 at a time. As the chicken continues to cook, you're going to have those in there for about 8 to 10 minutes. Go ahead and mix up your next spice mixture for your hot oil that'll go on top of the chicken. In here I've got cayenne, some smoked paprika, regular paprika, and some brown sugar and a little bit of salt. We're going to dump that into a big bowl here, and then we're going to mix it together, and then we'll reserve a cup of the hot oil and we'll pour that in to make the mixture. Now that the chicken has been in the pot for about 10 minutes, my oil was kind of hot, so it was kind of getting dark pretty quick. You're going to take these out and shake off some of the excess oil, and then set them on a cooling rack to dry for about 10 to 15 minutes. Now that your chicken's resting, this is a perfect opportunity to take out some of the hot oil. I took about a cup worth here. Pour that on top of your spice mixture that you created. Like I said, mostly you just want to dissolve the brown sugar that'll cake up at the bottom. So make sure you have enough, and make sure the oil is still hot when you pour it in. I had mine setting out. I had to reheat it in the microwave a little bit just to get the heat in there. Mix it up really well, and then we'll get it ready to put on top of our chicken. Alright, now that our chicken has rested, we're going to go ahead and get this spice mixture on top of the chicken. If you see the one up front, I tried dipping it in the bowl. The bowl was just a little too small for that. I really wanted to do a whole dip thing. Should have put it in a bigger container, but brushing it on works just fine. Go ahead and coat both sides of the chicken with this spice mixture, oil mixture as you will, and you're getting ready to prepare to make your Nashville hot chicken sandwich. Now that that's coated, go ahead and get you some white bread. This is actually Italian bread. I was looking for Texas toast, but the store was wiped out of Texas toast at the time, so this seemed like the next best thing. Take some of that coleslaw mixture that we had chilling in the refrigerator, bring that out, put it onto the bottom piece of bread, and go ahead and drop that chicken right on top of there. And then I had some bread and butter pickles that I used for this Nashville hot chicken. I think they usually use just regular dill chips, but I like the sweetness of the bread and butter. Like I said, also the tang from the coleslaw that I made was going to make for a good mix. I was going to do a nice little cross-section cut for this, but I tell y'all what, once I made this, I was ready to dig in. I tell y'all what, that was an awesome sandwich. I was sweating. That thing was spicy. I went ahead and made a second one. Got a nice little shot here. Anyways, I hope y'all enjoy this recipe for Nashville hot chicken. Please leave any comments or suggestions on what else you'd like to see me cook. Thank you very much.